Welcome everyone to V8 Online's live coverage of the Club Oz NZ Nascar iRacing Truck Series. We're here for round 10 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We've got 53 laps of racing ahead tonight, and you've got Jay Kennedy and also Isaac Edwards in the commentary box for tonight. G'day Isaac, how are you mate?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, very, very good. Recovered from Tuesday night. It was a massive, massive night of racing, but Tuesday night was a massive event. Excited to say that the All-Star Shootout will be back again very soon. But we're in qualifying at the moment for tonight's event, which, as I said, 53 laps in the truck ahead. A really, really competitive field. We've got a lot of drivers that are doing very, very well in the championship, which is currently being led by Hayden Dodman over Ashley Lear. Ray Schroeder's returned tonight. Mitch McLeod doing very, very well in qualifying. We've got Stephen Sam and Clark out racing, and we've got some guys that are regulars in V8 Scots, which is back next week, and as well with Richard Hampstead, who jumped in the booth on Monday night with me, or with us I should say. Jake Maloney out there as well. We've got Josh Rogers and Benjamin J. Smith, but Ray Schroeder at the moment is the man to beat with his very, very, very quick lap time. 28.7, faster than what we saw anyone do in practice.
Oh yeah, very quick. And just to have a note, there are 39 trucks racing here tonight, so that is a pretty good record there, shall I say.
Yeah, biggest field that we've had so far in this series, which is really, really good to see. Good to see that people are interested in truck racing once again. So good to have everyone out there on track. We're focused on Stephen Sam and Clark at the moment, who, believe it or not, didn't get yelled at by his neighbours for being extremely loud on Tuesday night for the All-Star Shootout. Slips himself into P11, which is, he was very, very quick in practice, but wasn't sure how he was going to be able to turn that practice time around into quali. We'll grab him for a chat very soon, but they're the top three in quali: Schroeder, McLeod, Dodman, guys that you really expect to be right up towards the pointy end, as Clark now goes to P8. Very, very good lap time.
Very good lap. As I've got my track fact sheet with me, Charlotte Motor Speedway, that's where we are. Opened in 1960, 1.5 miles, 2.4 kilometres, and it's the venue of the All-Star Shootout.
Yeah, the All-Star race this Saturday night, American time, Sunday, about 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings, Australian Eastern Standard Time, I should say. One quick comment before we get into it. I'm a bit surprised that Richard Hampstead's driving a Domino's pizza truck. I thought it would have been a KFC truck, so not quite sure what's going on there, especially with his helmet. If you haven't seen it, is plastered in KFC. We might actually ride on board with Richard Hampstead for this lap. We've got 4 minutes left in quali.
Big lover of KFC, must also be a big lover of Domino's as well.
No, I don't think he's a big lover of Domino's. I think the boys over at TTL have quite a big Kentucky Fried Chicken fetish. He starts his first flying lap. Grab Sam in for a chat. That's the wall, Hampstead. Don't go out that high.
Well, then again, for KFC, you can get I'm going to be a little sponsor here. You can have a bucket of popcorn chicken for just $10, only for a limited time.
We don't do sponsored posts unless they're paying us. No more of them.
Okay.
Good lap from Hampstead, 30 flat. Actually, that's not a very good lap, it's 30.
No. 30?
Looking back from where we were in quali practice, we had 7:10 separating the top 30 odd cars. Now have 27 at the moment, separated by under half a second. Very, very quick time, so awesome to see. Whoa, and into the fence goes Hampstead. Got Josh Rogers on screen now.
Spins it around like a record.
And 29.3, I think they're from Rogers.
28th.
So 28th position for Rogers. He's got one more lap to go. I think he'll be the last guy to put in a lap, so he actually is pulling out of it. So we might grab Sandman up for a quick chat before we get into it. Hello Sandman, you got us there mate?
I do boys, how are you?
Very good. 9th you wanted to get in that top 10. I guess you're happy with ninth.
Yeah, happy. Surprised. I went faster. I put down a PB in quali. I'm only just barely sneaking into the top 10. So if I can stay in the 10, I'll be happy because it's a massive field tonight. And, you don't want to talk about carnage, but when you have massive fields, sometimes, there's just such good, hard, close racing. These, cautions happen. So if I can stay up the pointy end and hopefully out of the trouble, we might be in for a good run.
Tyre wear's pretty extreme though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough. It's funny. The first couple of laps, these Goodyear tyres are awesome around here. Probably first four laps or so, you can go flat out, hold it all the way around flat out. Feels like Daytona Talladega, but you do start to put a lot of stress on that right front. So you start to feel the fronts go away after sort of lap 5, 6, 7, and it's still a lot drivable. You just can't hold it flat out. So it's going to be different through the race because you're going to have the draft to take into consideration and different lines depending on how the track plays out. But I think the low groove is going to be the fast one.
Yeah, I don't know if the race is going to be long enough for the track to evolve that much. So I think you're right. The low line will be the go, but strategy in regards to pitting and things like that. We pit as much as we can to get fresh tyres, or just make sure we stay away from trouble.
Yeah, I think you're right. Trouble's the key. You say it every week that we want to buy a ticket to the end, but there's a cliche line that's in Days of Thunder that's tyres is what wins you a race, and I think that's going to be key tonight. Is a fresh set of tyres towards the end, depending on how cautions play out, can make you feel like Superman around here. So we'll just see how the race unfolds and see where we're sitting. And of course, if we unfortunately down the back, you'll probably pit every time if there is a heap of cautions, but up the front you just sort of depend on what the leaders do and how many laps are left.
Well, good luck, mate. We'll let you go and get your head into gear, and we'll chat to you hopefully not too much during the race, but we'll come and have a chat when we get under caution, because we've got no doubt that we'll have some caution. We've removed the caution clock because we felt like we didn't need it, so we'll see how we go. Hopefully we won't have one, but I'm pretty sure we will.
All right, boys, have a good call,
good luck,
and keep an eye on the Hybrid Racing Simulation Chevy.
Oh, shameless plug, well done. Brett will be happy.
See you, mate.
See you, mate.
Yes, he will. See ya.
Surprised Sam has actually got a voice after his massive effort on Tuesday night. I actually needed to get some new headphones after Tuesday. I nearly blew some up, so that was pretty extreme on Tuesday night. So well done to everyone involved in the All-Star Shootout. I know it's been one of our most popular broadcasts we've done.
It is too. I hope we go back for the third one.
I can confirm there will be a third one. How far away it will be, I don't know, but I will confirm that there is a third one. So we've got about 5 seconds left in qualifying. Just had Robert Mason put in a lap. He's jumped up to P25. We've now got 40 cars in the field, so we'll run through the grid as it will be for this race. Ray Schroeder off row 1 with Mitchell McLeod. Then you've got Hayden Dodman, our championship leader from Raymond Jaeger. Then over the page we've got Ashley Lear, Sam Katakiniasis, Matthew Collette, Stephen Williams, and Stephen Clark, Jake Maloney, Brett Hender, Scott Butler, David Webb, Edward Foster, Nicholas Crawford, Stephen Jenkins, Jason Green, Norman Clark, Luke Muir, Alex Alvarez, Daniel Stevens, Simon Black, Damien Kerr, Roger Clark, Robert Mason, Rodney Morris, Rick Summerhays, Jason Reese, and then Josh Rogers, Tyson Williams, Shane Brook, Richard Hampstead, Benjamin Smith, Jason Bent, Sam McLeod, Jason Fewins, Braden Bateman, Fewins, Braden Bateman, Chris Hogan, Wayne Swanson and Brad Matheson did not put in a lap. We have a full grid of 40 cars.
3 cars off for a complete full grid. So this one's going to get really interesting because I say the probability of a caution period here is quite high with all of these trucks. But I hope we get to do one full lap in green, unlike what happened last round where we had one caution and didn't even last a corner.
Yeah, we had a few where we had caution straight after caution where we ended up with drivers missing the jump and going 4 wide into turn 1. Hopefully we won't see that tonight. Hopefully we'll get a couple of laps. Before we get underway though, make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms at VATS Online on Twitter, V8s Online on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep up to date. Follow us on Twitch as well. We're streaming on all different platforms, so you can keep a track on where we are and what we're up to.
No doubt.
It's about to get underway. We're just waiting for the cars to roll off the grid. Who's your tip?
Oh, this one's going to be a toughie because we got a wide range of trucks, and I'd say most of the top 10 are in the game for the championship, but the way things are going, it's probably one of the talk boys. I'm actually thinking Ashley.
Ashley currently P2 in the championship. He's got there on consistency. He's about 20 odd points, 25 points behind Hayden in regards to the championship. Hayden has got some really, really good pace, but Ash is always there with consistency. But Ash, yeah, just behind in bonus points. So if you're not aware of how the point structure works, 43 points for first, right back to 1 point for 43rd. Bonus point if you lead a lap. Bonus point if you lead the most laps, and 3 bonus points for the race winner. So the race winner effectively gets 47 points, but the bonus points is what has made the difference in the championship as it stands at the moment. If we get a chance under a caution, we'll bring up the standings during the race, but we're about to come up for the green flag. As we get underway, we have 53 laps of Charlotte ahead.
Get ready, boys. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
And away goes Schroeder. He's got a really great jump. Hopefully we can stay too wide through most of the field. It looks like the field's fairly spread, which is good to see.
Yes,
nice and clean so far. A little bit of 3 wide action back in the pack, but it's not too bad. Got 1 truck off on the inside. That's the 20, Damien Kerr. But everyone else is through. And Richard Hampstead making a big, big move.
Can't find where he is, but
He's just made a move up. He's gained, I think, 3 or 4 spots already. Now up to 23rd. So he started back in 30th position. He's made 7 spots on the first lap as we begin lap 2. Schrader leads from McLeod, Dodman, Jager, Lear.
Oh, caution!
And a big, big crash at Sandman.
Uh-oh.
It stayed green. Why is it green?
It's still... Oh, there we go. I was about to say. He's going to go caution because that was a huge...
That was a huge crash. Not sure why it stayed green there, because there was massive, massive contact between a lot of drivers. We'll get the replay up on screen.
Oh, Needle.
So if we work exactly what's happening, we've got Sam Man on the outside, got Sam on the inside, and Sam's just come up a little bit, got a little bit loose over the little, there's a little rise there, and just a bit of a chain reaction. Luckily the drivers do have a quick repair, so they'll be able to get back out there with a fresh car and go again, but that was disaster for Sam Man, and unfortunate with Sam K as well, making contact there. Jump on board for another look there from roof cam. So we just come up there. Sandman's on the outside. Or possibly came up a little bit too far, not quite sure, but either way, we've got caution and probably did a little bit better than I expected. We lasted a full lap before we had one. Sandman's just going to make it back to the pits by the looks.
Oh man.
So the pits are open as well. So pits are open, and we've got Brett Hender who's come in to make a stop. Luke Muir, Edward Foster, Jason Green, Brad Matheson, of course Sandman in as well with the damage that he has obtained.
There's a bit of a congestion down the rear of the field, trying to jostle their way into position. But hey, do what you gotta do.
So it's Schrader out in front from McLeod and Dodman, the top 3.
It's very hard to decide who was at fault for the incident. It was pretty much a case of either wrong place, wrong time, or the neck contact, but I just saw it a little bit, but I think it was indeed a wrong place, wrong time. But might see them go Wonder Green at this point.
Yeah, Wonder Green. Yeah, so Schroeder again will lead the field. It's going to be interesting now with this, in this position, what these guys up the front do. The first driver to make a pit stop back in the field is Jason Green, who is in P number 30. So keep our eye on him. And Brett Hender, who is in 32nd, not far behind. Tyson Williams, Luke Muir, Brad Matheson and Sam Mann, as well as Edward Foster and Nicholas Crawford, who have all made a pit stop. So they'll be on fresh tyres. And I was talking to a few drivers before the race got underway that the tyre wear was very, very extreme, and tyres were pretty much gone after 5 laps. The front tyres were that completely worn out. So fresh tyres already could be a big advantage.
So we might see a bit of an undercut happen to most of these drivers as the pace car now pulls away into the pits.
Green flag is back and waving again. Great jump from Schrader, and look at McLeod losing ground from his teammate Hayden Dodman on the inside road, and Ashley almost gets ahead of McLeod. So it's Schroeder from Dodman, McLeod, Lee and Jager back to 5th. As we've all made it through turn 1 nice and clean.
Thank goodness for that.
It's a bit of a gap. Bit of a gap between the 20th position car truck and the rest of the field. But looks like we've got through fairly clean for this restart.
Yes, we have. Now
up the front though, it is on for P10. Simon Black, Sam Kays out of wide. He's got Norman Clark up the inside. Richard Hampstead up to P13 already in the 22. Wow. And now up to 12th position. I think Sam Kay must have a bit of damage from that incident with Sam Man, because he is dropping back. Yeah, looking at the front of his truck, there's definitely some damage to that truck. So watch out for the number 968 to drop back through the field with this damage.
Yeah, must have done something to the truck, either aerodynamically or yellow.
Another caution.
Now it slows down.
We've got a few trucks upside down and flipping and doing all sorts of things. We'll see if we can get another replay and see exactly what's happened back in the field. But we are under caution number 2. Once again, lasting up 1.5 laps. Gaggle of trucks coming into turn 1 fighting over the same position. And we've got the 30 trucks drop below the white line. Oh, it's already happened ahead there, so the 600 I think may have been the one. We're going to try and get another replay. 36 of Sam McLeod also involved, so try and work out exactly what's happened. Unfortunately, McLeod jumped the inside, dropped on the apron, it's just lost it just in front of the other trucks and caused a bit of chaos. So we're back under caution once again. So interesting now to see what these front guys do. Looks like we see. Yeah, interesting here. We've got a slow truck that is holding up the field. He's holding up the field because he would have been told he can't pass. Couldn't enter the pit lane because the pit lane was closed. The 36 of McLeod probably should have just pulled off anyway.
Yeah.
It's okay though. Looks like no real change of position.
People getting out of the pits now, as I'm trying to deal with a bit of an issue on my end with net, so I might be a bit quiet.
Standings, you're right, go and get yourself fixed up. Championship standings on screen as they were before the start of this race. So Hayden Dodman leading, 34-point lead over Ashley Lear, then Edward Foster, Brad Matheson, who has done a really, really great job just staying out of trouble and staying consistent, then Jason Martin, David Webb, Mitchell McLeod, Brett Hender, Roger Clark and Nicholas Crawford. Interesting with Crawford and McLeod, they're a couple of races down on the other drivers, so look to see them move through with the best 8 races counting in this championship.
Yeah, look, it's looking pretty good. With only 2 rounds to go, this championship might last right up to the last race, which is at Dover.
Yep, so we've got Pocono next week, changing the schedule. We removed out, lost my train of thought. We moved out, Rockingham, that's right. Rockingham's gone and we've put back in Pocono. So Pocono next week, and then we finish off the season at Dover, and then we will work out what we will do for next season after that. It has been a very popular season though, a very popular series I should say, not season, series. Can't even speak tonight, I'm doing a shocking job.
I really hope for next season we'll have a few more variations in where we go. We might go to some road courses. Hey, we might even go to Eldora.
I'm pretty sure next season we'll have Eldora in it and a few road courses as well, excuse me. Got the hiccups at the same time as trying to talk, that's always awkward.
As I'm trying to boot back up iRacing because somehow the net didn't want to play with me, so...
We're about to get 1 to green, so not far away from getting action back underway. So leaderboard on screen at the moment. Schroeder from Dodman, then McLeod, Lear, Jager, Collette, Maloney, Webb, Butler and Black rounding out the top 10 as it is at the moment. Great drive from Richard Hampstead's made his way all the way back up to P11 starting in P30, so that's a great drive.
Wow. Driver of the race, I say at the moment. I don't rule him out yet, just in case any other cars fly up to the rest of the field. But yeah, that's a pretty good jump. That's around 9 or 19 cars.
About to get back underway. Under the control of the pace car. Pace car will pull in, then we'll be under the control of Ray Schroeder, who has control of the field, being the race leader. We have 41 laps remaining when we cross the start-finish line here at Charlotte for Club Oz NZ NASCAR Truck Series. We have green flag in the air. We are underway. This is lap 13 of 53 in round 10 of our championship. As great start from Ash Lear. He looks like he may get around his teammate in Mitchell McLeod. No, not quite. Look at this pack of cars. Oh, we got another car around.
Oh no. 23.
We've got another crash and we are under caution. Once again, the 13 of Alex Alvarez parked up against the inside wall. I did see him start to spin. There was a truck ahead of him that started to have a big slide, and I think he reacted to that truck sliding.
I think Alvarez can take a break because last round...
There's actually contact there between he and the... What truck was that? 23 of Brett Hender was the other truck involved in that. That started that little chain reaction. Hender was luckily able to catch it. Great work getting through there. And back in the field. Fortunately, as Alvarez come down, he's on the brake, but he's not able to slow it down, and a few trucks actually ended up upside down. So unfortunate. We're back under yellow once again.
And the 13, and Alvarez is crab walking back to the pits as I'm now back on to iRacing.
Yep, Alvarez back into it, into the lane with some nasty crab issues.
But
hopefully
very lucky that
a few others actually made it through. I know that Sam Kay was the truck that we did see upside down, so an unfortunate night for him once again. But we've got Brett Hender back in the lane, Tyson Williams back in the lane. Sandman Clark staying out, so he's moved his way back up to 18th position. But not much changing up the front. It's actually, in saying that, Collette has managed to get ahead of Jager. So Jager started in P4, he's dropped back to P6. Hampstead lost a spot in that as well, so he's back to P12.
Well, so that's what happens usually. Caution. We jostle around as
They do say cautions breed cautions, so yeah, unfortunate that we've had now 3 cautions in this early stage of the race, so hopefully we can get a bit of a green flag run happening now once these drivers realise and settle themselves down, give each other a bit more space, see how they go.
they're just at the rear. They're jostling around, getting to what the spotters said which position they have to be. As I see a lucky dog gone by.
Yeah, lucky dog will be
Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan, yep. Receiving
In a-
lucky dog. Looks like a
in
Mark
the-
Larkham inspired Mitre 10 livery.
It is. Mighty helpful, Mitre 10. The old, the old Larkin Motorsport Ford Falcon with with that strikingly nice bird livery. Shame that the one of the cars that he drove for Larkin Motorsport was destroyed in a huge crash in Oran Park 17 years ago.
Remember that like it was yesterday, that big crash with he and
Paul Morris.
in the big Kev car.
Yeah, the big Kev VS. It's on YouTube. It was huge. Erupted the car into a fireball.
So on board with Ray Schroeder. He's seen a lot of that pace car at the moment. He's actually, the Mustang has led more laps technically than Schroeder has tonight. So
Give that Mustang driver a pay rise.
he needs a bonus point, I think. So hopefully we'll get the green, the one to go trigger as we cross the start-finish line. But it's Schroeder from Dodman, McLeod, Lear, Collette, Jager, and all these guys are just trying to make sure that they stay out of trouble and jostle for position amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to be 1 to green now. Lights are out on the Ford Mustang pace car.
I really like the Mustang, but in my opinion, iRacing should try and upgrade themselves to the new model Mustang. Just saying.
One day they'll be able to.
Yeah. But then again, the other pace cars are rough. Actually, that's one thing they should do, is they should extend the pace car field. Like, different types of cars.
I'd prefer to worry about the racing than what the pace car's looking like. So I think fun to watch here will be Jake Maloney, P8. He's going to restart this one. He's done a good job to get himself into the top 10, or stay in the top 10, and also watching out for Josh Rogers, Richard Hampstead and Sandman Clark. Sandman back in 18th, Rogers in 14th, Hampstead in P12, and Maloney in P8 as we get ready to go.
Very shortly.
Pace car is about to pull in. Schroeder has been going fairly early and goes again. Green flag waves.
Goes again really early.
And Dodman over to cover off his teammates really, really quickly behind him, wanting to consolidate this championship lead he's got. And we're 2 by 2 the whole way through turn 1. Let's see if we can stay. Oh, we got another car spinning back in the field. That's the 8 of Luke Muir. He has kept it though. We're staying green. Good to see.
Oh, thank God for that.
So we've got 2 by 2 up the front. We've got Jake Maloney getting up the inside and move done. No, Jake has actually held it around the outside.
Wow.
Good bit of driving from those two guys.
Must be really quick heading up there. As I'm seeing a little battle here between a couple of cars. It's Scott Butler, Roger Clark, Josh Rogers.
You've got Butler in the 18 race on Oz truck. You've got the 09, Roger Clark. You've got David Webb in the 17, 92 of Josh Rogers, and the 351 of Simon Black, 22 of Hampstead. And around the outside looks Benjamin Smith in the 91 race on Oz truck.
So far, so
He's
good.
back up the inside with the undercut. Over under through turn 1 and 2, and he's up the inside and moved done on Richard Hampstead. So Hampstead will drop back to 14th position. As though he's held it around the outside. A great bit of driving. He's got the drive right out of the corner. And Jenkins now looking to make a move, capitalise as well.
I see one truck coming in pits.
And the pits comes Luke Muir with who was the truck that we did see having that big slide through turn 1 at the restarts. This is the longest stint we've had.
Yeah. A bit of
Schroeder.
a battle here with Mitch McLeod.
Yeah, Matthew Collette's up the inside of Mitch McLeod and trying to follow through will be Raymond Jagger. It's Schroeder from Dodman, Lear, McLeod, Collette, Jagger, Maloney, Butler, Clark and Rogers, your top 10.
What?
Here we
Oh,
go.
a spinner. Nice to see me. Oh yes, we do have a spinner.
Yep,
Right.
oh, right in front of Sandman, got the caution out and truck's just
Oh,
driving
wow.
in full speed.
Jeez. Pile up.
That is caution number 4 out. I was about to say we've been doing a good job of staying green.
How many trucks was that? 5?
There's a few. Said happen up ahead. You got on board here with Sandman. You see the 19 slipping and sliding, and he just Sandman just made it through there. So that was
Ow.
interesting driving. But there's some strange driving from a few trucks there that just barreled in at full speed.
They should
I
have
don't know what they were
known.
trying to achieve there.
Oh, I see what's happened. Reese has had a bit of a contact with Rodney Morris, and they both spun in perfect pirouettes. Looks like both of them managed to stay out of the way, but Reese just comes up, nearly hits Sandman, but hits the 66 truck, and then just everyone piles into it. Good thing they piled off the main road, so no more cars will be involved. But
Yeah, interesting that we noticed a few drivers have jumped into the lane. Ray Schroeder in, Collette in, Jager in. Who else has come in? Got Collette in, Maloney in. So the drivers that stay out of Dodman, Lear, McLeod, and Rodney Morris have all stayed out, as well as Damien Kerr. So interesting, the strategy play there from the front five trucks there to stay out, and Sandman stayed out as well, so he's made his way back up to P6. He'll be the last driver on those older tyres. Interesting strategy. We might see if we can grab him for a quick chat.
Dan McLeod's got the lucky dog.
Hello, Sandman.
G'day, boys.
Did you have a bit of a clench then and a bit of a big in as you went past that one?
I thought I was a goner.
I thought you were too.
Yeah.
I thought I'd checked up enough, and then I saw the truck and I tried to get down, and it looked like I was going to hit him, and then it got sideways on me. I thought I was going to nail the fence, but geez, I tell you what, Lady Luck was on my side for that one.
Interesting strategy with the boys ahead of you staying out. I understand you staying out, but those boys ahead of you that have been out all race staying out, I'm a bit surprised.
I'm not. If you can see what's going on back at the back of the field, it's, those
I've
boys
seen
are
it.
pretty switched on. Yeah, they just want to stay up front and buy a ticket to the end. It's just the driving's a little bit second-hand down the back there, so that's hence why I didn't pit. I just needed a little bit of track position. I know my tyres are probably a couple of laps fresher than the guys up front, but I don't know, I may be still carrying a bit of aero. I'm not really that fast in a straight line.
Got a little bit of a crinkle in the back of your rear wing, so
I could feel that.
Doesn't look overly straight, but staying out of trouble, sort of, in a way.
Yeah, well, geez, I thought trouble was finding me in that one, but we managed to miss that. So a little bit unlucky with the first caution though, but yeah, never mind.
Yeah. That I saw the replay. I thought you were goner, but you must have had some sort of a Hail Mary moment.
I held my breath. I won't lie about that one. And I thought she was getting away from me at the end, but no, I managed to sneak on by. So we live for another lap.
Good luck, mate. We'll come and grab you later on.
All right, look forward to it.
Cheers, mate. Not far off going green again. Dodman, Lear, McLeod,
Talk 1, 2, 3.
Morris, talk 1, 2, 3. I won't be biased about that, I promise. But Ray Schroeder will be the one to watch at this restart. P7, Matthew Collette on the outside, and P8. So the 42 and the 4, they are the first two trucks with fresh tyres. I think the entire rest of the field have pitted, other than a couple in the middle that were laps down. So interesting strategy play. We've got 24 trucks on the lead lap, or sorry, 23 trucks on the lead lap.
23, I was about to say.
With Stephen Williams, the driver, in the lucky dog position. We've got almost at halfway.
I hope this half is better, but I'm not sure what's happening in the mid-pack. Looks like they're not ready to go racing.
There's a bit of a gap happening back in the field there. I think a few drivers are getting instructed that they have to let drivers by, being lap down trucks in the middle. So
we'll see how it all goes.
Under the control of Hayden Dodman. I'm sure that he will hold the field because he is quite well known to hold the field up, and goes late. Great jump from all the inside row, and Sandman up the inside as well. Now 3 wide coming into turn 1.
That's not the
all under control, but great job from Shreya. He's now gone up into P5 straight away at the restart.
Oh, they're still going 3 wide. Please don't make it 4 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide through the middle of the pack.
They're still going 3 wide. This is a battle for beyond the top 10 or maybe the top 20. But oh dear. Yeah, it looks like everyone's
great control from
out
most drivers here. They've done a good job to keep it together.
Everyone's now breaking away into their own group.
Sandman's unfortunately getting hung out to dry a little bit with that damage he was just talking about, or we were just talking about with him before. He's on the inside line, he's trying to make moves, but he's unable to with a little bit of aero damage, and that's making the field a little bit congested. The 18 truck here, Scott Butler, thought about making a move, making it 3 wide, thought better of it, but those front 5 trucks are just pulled away. From this gaggle of trucks here, we're about to go 3 wide. Maloney's going to try and stuff it up the inside. Not going to do it though. Which is good to see. Good to see. So it's Dodman leading from Lear, McLeod. Schroeder's right there. Now we've got a bit of bump drafting coming over the start finish line. We've got 23 laps to go here. 24 laps to go, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a very good battle heating up here.
Great battle pack going on. Sandman moves it to the outside now that he's clear. He's going to let that inside line go through, who are clearly quicker than he is. So Maloney will get through. Hampstead nearly contact into the back of Raymond Jagger. And Sandman in the wall!
How? 2 cars. Caution's out. And more cars. Trucks.
Little replay. We'll jump on board there with Raymond Jagger, who was the truck that got involved there with Sandman, who was just tucked in behind. You see 2 trucks up is Stephen Sandman Clark. And he just got a little bit of aero push off the side of Jake Maloney and pushed him up into the wall. And not much you can do there once he's on the grass. It was just a bit of an unlucky accident there. Definitely no malice, and I know Sandman's a very, very accomplished oval driver, so definitely not something that he would normally do. So as you see there at the start of that replay, just watch from there, you can see just a little bit of a push. I think there may have even been wheel-to-wheel contact between Maloney and Clark. He just skated across the grass, had nowhere to go. There was contact as well, involving a couple of other trucks as well. The 17 there I can see involved. The 25 as well. We'll see if we can get another replay and see that section of the accident.
The race has just gone off.
Race has definitely gone off.
What houses?
With 22 laps to go, we'll have 21 laps when we restart. Checking up, you see trucks off and there's trucks spinning, and that's an unfortunate one there for Jenkins. See if we can jump on with the 41 truck. We've got guys that are about to come in the lane. Those guys that didn't pit in that last stop are in the lane.
Definitely no malice between the two. it's just, yeah, like you said before, it's aero pushed, and he tried counteracting it, and he kind of got pushed away from the wall, which ends up hitting into the city Chevrolet truck.
So I've got McLeod in the lane. We've got been in and finished his stop. We've got Dodman, who's also stopped, I believe. No, Dodman stayed out and Lear stayed out. So those two have stayed out. McLeod pitted. So interesting, the two leaders of the championship have pitted. Pretty much the rest of the field that didn't pit that last stop have pitted now. So interesting strategy.
Yeah, very interesting. They must gonna try and get an undercut for later on in the race if there's gonna be another caution period. If the other trucks are gonna come out, and yeah,
I think the strategy now is just stay out and try and get it home and not get themselves into that wild pack back in the background. That looks to be like the strategy is at the moment there. So as McLeod passes the lap down trucks, we've got 20 laps to go. We're on lap 34 of 53.
so far 24 trucks are on the lead lap, but that might be subject to change very shortly.
Yeah, we're back to 23 looking at the live timing. Of course, if you are wanting to keep track on the live timing, it is available on our website at v8online.com/live-timing. And big thank you to everyone who has viewed our website over the last little bit. Our website has been going off lately. Now, if you want to keep track on what we're up to in the next few days, we'll get a bit of a lull. We'll quickly run through. We've got the Porsche Carrera Cup Australia Series Season 2 restarting back up again Sunday night, just after 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We will go live for that one. For round one, we are off to Phillip Island in the V8 Supercar Monday night for the strength of field race in the V8 Supercars. Next week, obviously, as we said, the trucks will be off to Pocono. And next Sunday night, we will be back with the Premier Series, the V8 Supercar Online Premier Series, round 4 from Sebring. Now, if you remember, Sebring was a very, very entertaining race last year. We've actually had a video that went out, and it was one of the biggest videos, sim racing videos that went out last year, with the battle pack between three guys. Can't remember off the top of my head exactly who it was, but
I think it was Down, Phil Cell and Rogers.
I think you may be right there, and that was awesome. Sandman absolutely losing his nana in commentary. That was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And, hopefully we'll see some, if we see half as good a racing as what we did in that race, I'm sure we'll be in for a very, very good night. So that's next Sunday night. We are 1 to go. There'll be 18 laps left in the race when we cross the start-finish line. Hopefully we can stay green till the end. Fingers crossed.
Please don't bring up the commentary curse.
Always. I brought out the commentator's curse, the first ever broadcast I ever did way back 6 years ago. So I've got no doubt that I'll bring out the curse.
You do what you gotta do, pretty much.
So we've got two Torque trucks on the front row. Dodman from Lear, then you've got Ray Schroeder, who's only on 11 lap old tyres. Matthew Collette right beside him. Then you've got Maloney and Rogers and Richard Hampstead, the three TTL trucks all together, the 29, the 92 and the 22. Here we go. Green flag flies. We have 18 to go here at Charlotte. Great job from Schroeder.
Oh yeah, great job from
Maloney as well. Yeah, Dodman's gone as the leader, which is fairly standard, but look at Rogers up the inside. We've got trucks weaving back in the field.
Trying to jostle for position. They're pretty good. Back into our own battle pack.
Lear's been unfortunately hung out to drive. He's now back to fourth, and he's about to get past from Rogers as well. Oh,
no
that was
power,
close.
please.
A bit of a slide from Maloney. Don't drop it too far down, brother. Just saying, good driving.
Very good driving. Let's see more cars starting to come in. Ooh, getting a little bit intense here. Now they're back all to single file. That's between, oh, yellow.
Caution is out. Not quite sure what for. Jason Rees has stopped on the start-finish line. We'll try and see exactly what's happened there. That's strange.
And he's gone into the pits.
Looks like he and Stephen Jenkins may have got together. I missed that, unfortunately, in the replay there. We'll get another look.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, jeez. Oh, got drilled. He just got drilled
So
by...
25 was the truck there that was the main one involved. We'll try and pick up this replay. There we go.
Got a bit of contact from Damien Kerr.
Or
yeah.
actually, massive netcode contact there. There's a
They
massive
hit
gap
me.
there, and there's contact that was created. And Jenkins around, and also...
Hit.
Sorry, who was that as well? I've lost my train of thought.
Hits.
Rees.
Hits Matheson, hits Reese as
Yeah.
well.
So this will be interesting here. Ashley, I'm going to guess, will come into the pits because he's just had no speed, no pace on that restart. We'll see how he goes. Saying that, it looks like he might actually be staying out, is he?
We'll see where he
We'll
is.
see where he goes. Maloney's
It's
coming in. Rogers coming in. Late dive from Dodman.
Leah's
Comes in.
coming in.
No. And Maloney, Rogers, Collette. Great few fakes there to feign coming into the pits, and they've ended up staying out. So that was very, very clever from those guys.
Tried to
Fooled me.
spook. Either spook or fool the other drivers thinking they're going to be pitting, then to just shoot out and get back into the racing line. So yeah, pretty good method there. As we see, I think that's Colette. Got the lucky dog. No, not Colette. Crawford.
Yeah, Nicholas Crawford's the lucky dog in the 16 truck. Very, very bright truck, that one. Not going to miss it.
No. We picked on that a few rounds ago. How colourful the trucks are. That truck is. Sorry?
Hello again, Sandman.
G'day, boys.
I didn't think I'd bring you in before. I thought you might need to have a bit of a breather, so... You okay now? You're alright?
Oh, look, what can you do? You're, you know, in the thick of it and things
Yep.
go wrong, you can't really do much about it. So
That's alright.
we just have to soldier on and make the best of what we can. The old Hybrid Racing Simulations Chevy isn't looking the best at the moment. We've still got 3 minutes of damage to fix, but we'll keep going. There's probably going to be a couple more cautions, but we're running out of laps.
Still on the lead lap though, so that's important.
Yeah, she's very slow. She probably doesn't look cosmetically beautiful
No,
like she did when she
definitely-
started.
Definitely not. Doesn't look
Yeah.
beautiful at all.
Never mind, we'll keep pushing on.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that car does not look good.
So we've
Got damage here.
Schroeder leading the field from Maloney in second, Rogers in third, Collette in fourth, Hampstead in fifth, Black in sixth, Roger Clark in seventh, Tyson Williams eighth, Mitchell McLeod ninth, and David Webb rounding out the top 10 as it stands right now. The guys that pitted then is Hayden Dodman. He's back in 15th position with Ashley right behind him in 16th position. They're just about to round up the lapped drivers, or the drivers who are a lap down. So we'll see how far these two can come through the field. Tucking in behind Stephen Williams, who is the last driver who has stayed out. Bentz also will come around the 10 truck there, which is Norman Clark. He is 1 lap down. He is the first truck 1 lap down. So we're on caution number 6. We've got 12 laps to go. We've got 1 to green. Not
There
far
you go.
away from getting this on the way home.
Actually, if you look at it now, the top 5 trucks have not won this race. So won a race in the truck series. So this could be very decisive.
If Schroeder and Collette both race the trucks quite regularly, but Maloney, Rogers and Hampstead not very regular in this vehicle. So good to see you hearing a lot of comments about there being road drivers causing accidents. I don't believe it's the road drivers. I think it's drivers that probably don't quite have the experience in this style of racing, probably race the street stock and things like that a little bit more and haven't really raced this one much. Hopefully we'll see next round at Pocono, big wide open track, we might see some better quality racing and fairly narrow track this one at Charlotte. Very, very tight going 3 wide. So Pocono next week, I'm sure we will have a bit more exciting action as we get ready to go green. Another great jump from Ray Schroeder. And Hampstead away. Yeah, Hampstead's managed to keep up with him, but a little bit of a sluggish start from Maloney on the outside as Hampstead and Maloney go side by side. Dodman already making his way through the field, making it 3 wide. But Rodney Morris up the inside. He's past David Webb on the outside. And he's made his way into the top 10 already. Great jump.
Wow.
That's why he is the championship leader.
No doubt about it. 2 rounds to go. He might wrap it up.
Collette up the inside of Maloney side by side into turn 1.
Oh, you drivers having a wild go, but
McLeod up the inside of Hampstead. Now McLeod, a little bit fresher tyres than these guys, not quite as fresh as Dodman and Lear, but McLeod pitted that caution previous, and Collette and Hampstead are on 20 lap old tyres. McLeod now up to P4, and he's hunting down. Look at it, the speed difference between McLeod and the truck ahead of Jake Maloney, and they are so tight and close. Maloney's going to keep it the inside.
And then there is Collette behind him. He's doing pretty quick. Is on the draft. He's about to hopefully try and slingshot it somewhere.
Got nowhere to go though, is his big issue. McLeod looks like he might be able to come clean, but I'm worried for him whether Rogers and Schroeder have managed to pull a big enough gap that McLeod may not be able to catch up. We've got 8 laps to go. Ooh. Caution will make this very, very tough. Dobbin in 8th position. Got a slow truck on the back straight. No caution though.
No caution, but that was...
There it is.
There we go. That was...
Tyson Williams there. Not sure why the caution didn't come out there. That's a bit strange.
No wonder I screamed, because that was head on into the wall. And just made... Oh, he's made contact with Dodman.
Dodman actually was the truck in behind, so I'm not exactly sure what's happened there.
Did he get drilled down, or...
Dodman's tried to go up the inside, and there wasn't quite the gap there to do it. He's almost pushed him straight into the fence, so that's unfortunate. Dodman now working his way up to P5. Let's see if we can get another replay of it.
Oh, he did not hit the safer barrier 3 times. It's an unsafer barrier wall first time. Drives straight down into another non-safer barrier wall, then back up. It's a good thing that the actual NASCAR tracks now have a safer barrier throughout the entire circuit.
It's a strange incident there. I'm fairly sure that one we could say was caused by Dodman thinking there was a bigger gap than was really there, so interesting.
Very interesting.
The field now is Schroeder from Rogers, McLeod, Collette, Maloney, Black, Dodman, Smith, Webb and Bentz. The top 10.
This is fairly different than what we are used to a few times.
I think we'll have 2 to go when we restart. This helps McLeod, who was probably a 6/10 gap between Rogers and McLeod just before we went under caution.
Yep. With 2 to go, we might have a new race winner in that of either Ray Schroeder or Josh Rogers.
Possibly. Well, McLeod could win again. We've got Collette, Maloney, Black, who haven't won a race. Only one in the top 6 has won a race yet this season. But I know the quality of the drivers that we've got in that top 7, that any of those drivers could win and deserve to win a race.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Even the front runners that we are usually used to, like Mitch McLeod, Sam Van Clark, all of them are further down the field because of these unlucky incidents.
Yeah, so McLeod's a bit further back based on different strategies. So Ashley has probably been the one that's been hung out to dry in regards to strategy. He was in P2 for a lot of that race behind Hayden Dodman, but wasn't able to slingshot past like Dodman was at the restart. He got hung out to dry. He's only made his way back up into 11th position. But so we might have 3 laps to go actually when we go green. Try and get a view of the pace truck when it crosses the start-finish line.
No, pace truck is a pace car.
The pace vehicle.
Whatever it is.
Now, Richard Hampstead
Yeah.
must have been involved in that incident because he has damage and is in the lane. So
Yeah, one to go.
So we've got 3 to go when we go green. So once we go green, next flag will end the race, pretty much. So whether it's yellow or checkered,
I hope it's checkered.
hopefully we'll get checkered without another incident.
Like what happened last round.
Yeah, last round was interesting,
It was crazy.
which is what we want to see. So 3 laps remaining in this race when we cross the start-finish line. Any of the top 7 or 8 could win this race.
So this brings up the question, Jay, is your thoughts of who might win change?
No, I think Schroeder is probably going to be the man to beat. He had practice pace in quali. While he had the lead before he took that pit stop, he had great pace then too. So Schroeder's going to be hard to beat. He's got the advantage of being in position 1. The only one that may be able to match him will be McLeod on the fresh tyres. McLeod has to make sure he gets with him at this restart as the pace car pulls in just a second. We have 3 laps to go. We're on lap 51, just about to start lap 51. Rogers cuts across in front of McLeod.
Can you do that?
You can do that, sure can. There was enough of a gap. You're allowed to come over and defend that.
Very good.
Good bit of driving, so it's going to be hard for McLeod. If we get another caution, that will be the end of the race.
That'll be the end of the race.
Focus on the front. There's a
Oh,
gaggle of cars. Here we go. Rogers up the inside.
Come on.
And he's there. Oh, contact! And caution is out. Rogers will win this race.
What?
That was definitely
Oh.
not an intentional contact because Rogers held the line. I think they were both trying to just squeeze into the exact same position.
Whoa. Bit of an adrenaline punch there.
So Rogers will pick up the win from McLeod, Collette, Dodman.
So this is the
He
first race.
got squeezed right down on the white line, held it on the white line and nowhere to go.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely neck code. Just a little touch and away Schroeder goes.
There's probably enough room for him to do it, I'm not sure. Might need to have another look, but either way, it's race done. It's race all over.
Huh. So Josh Rogers gets his first race win in a truck series, which I believe brings the winners to approximately 5.
I'm not sure off the top of my head how many, but it'll be the end of the race either way. Unfortunate way to finish it, but
6.
entertaining race either way. So unfortunately we've got caution number 8. This will be the end of the race for round number 10. Of course, next race that we will have in this series next Thursday night will be at Pocono for round 11. And we'll finish it off at Dover the week after that. Sunday night we'll be at the Porsche Carrera Cup Series for the return of that series. Round 1, 45-minute race Sunday, which will be at Phillip Island. Really looking forward to that. Next Sunday we'll be live for V8 Scops. We'll be back at Phillip Island Sunday and Monday. Monday, of course, in the V8 Supercar. Really looking forward to that. But your winner tonight is going to be Josh Rogers for his first win. Team TTL Toyota Tundra. Across the line in the number 92. Pick up the win.
Whoa.
Get the results up on screen. But what an action-packed race. Unfortunately, we didn't get large amounts of green flag running, but it was good racing that we had when we were green. The fireworks going off in the background.
Oh man, what a race. What a race. Look, and, oh! Not sure that was intentional or not, but between Rogers and, looks like Maloney.
It would be, because they're teammates, so that would be definitely intentional.
Yeah. And Maloney hits the pace car for... just because. Well, it's pretty much race over. You do what?
Yep.
Oh.
The results are up on screen. Josh Rogers winning from Mitchell McLeod, Matthew Collette, Hayden Dodman, Ben Smith, Jake Maloney, David Webb, Ash Lear, Sam McLeod. Great job to get up in the ninth, and Robert Mason rounding out the top 10. Flip over the page. But that was a really interesting race. Unfortunate the way that it's ended, and unfortunate we had as many cautions as we did. But the green flag running that we had was really, really great to watch. So hopefully we get a few guys go away, do a little bit of oval practice, learn how to drive side by side a little bit better, and we'll hopefully see the quality of the racing improve, which is the aim of this series, is to get guys out there feeling comfortable driving the truck, driving ovals once again, because a lot of Australian New Zealand drivers that haven't driven this for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Either way though, Isaac, I think we might wrap it up. So thanks for jumping in the box for me tonight.
No worries. Be back here next round.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So you're watching Vance Online's live coverage of the Club Oz NZ NASCAR Truck Series. Your winner for round 10 is Josh Rogers. We'll see you on Sunday.